This video we're going to start with the basics of bringing a model from Maya to Mudbox and how it will work in Mudbox. So right now I have my Hummer model and we are going to try a couple of different things with it in Mudbox. So the first thing of course is making sure that the model is UV'd. So I'm going to, I have him right now as an automatic UV. So I'm going to just do a quick bonus tools with it, and then we're going to export it to Mudbox. So at this moment I have marked with using the bonus tools all the sims that I want to have with him, and with that I'm just going to, and I have to separated the eyes, the mouthpiece, and the inside of the mouth. And I'm just gonna continue here to see what happens. I'm gonna look on my UV editor, and I see that it's doing an okay job. I think I don't have it perfectly clear here, so I'm gonna just go back and fine tune it a little bit. I have fine tuned some of the cuts there, just adding a little extra cut under the nose, just to see it now. And here it's giving me a little bit of a better UV map for me to play with. I could probably spend some more time on it, but for now it's enough for me to be able to go to Mudbox. So I'm going to just say done here, and I'm going to just save my file. Hummer UV pre-Mudbox. Just make sure that I know which one it is that I'm working on. Okay, so I'm gonna say save, continue, and then when I have this guy, I'm gonna make sure that I delete all the history because there is a lot of history in it. So I'm gonna delete all the history. I probably should just save one increment and save just to be safe. Okay, and now I'm going to export it out, which is going to simply as with the object selected, and I'm just doing the head, the one piece. So I'm gonna say send to Mudbox, send as a new scene, and that launches it right out to Mudbox. I had Mudbox open before, so that's why it just popped up so fast. So there is my model in Mudbox, and here in Mudbox, just quickly, we have the top menu, we have the 3D view, I have the UV view, so we can see it here. Image browser for me to look at textures. So we have a lot of textures that Mudbox comes with, textures that you can use for skins and for effects. And on here on the side we have the layers, the object list, so I can see that he came as a cube. I never named him, renamed him Maya, so and it comes with the cameras and other materials and stuff. And I have the viewport, which is showing a few little things for you to modify the way he is being shown. So for now I'm going to just keep it as it is. And here I'm ready to work, but you see that he comes in a very low res. Even in Maya, when we have in version 3, he looks fine, but of course here comes very, very low res. I'm just go back to my object list so I can deselect it. That way I don't see it in that yellow color. And here we have the option for him to be used in the low res model, but of course we can start sculpting, and we can do sculpting or we can do paint. The layers are divided in both. So the way it works is we have if I want to modify the sculpt, although I would probably prefer to do that in Maya, but if I wanted to do it here, I could go and do it. I wouldn't probably do it in the base layer. I would probably create a new layer, and I could rename it and say basic change, basic sculpt. And that's just the basic, if I wanted to come here and modify that. This works just like in Photoshop. Like if you wanted to add little changes here, you will come here and do a little smoothing. If you wanted to smooth it out, like for example, I could try to smooth out some stuff back here. If you hold the B key, you can change the way, the area, how much your sculpt has change. So I'm just modifying the geometry a little bit. You don't want to do it a lot, and you can change the strength just the same way you would do in Maya. I can change the strength here to say 20, so I don't modify it too much. So that all works in the layers. So I have layers, and you can see that in front of the layer you can have here the level. So one thing is the layers, another thing is the levels. So I can, in every layer, I can create a new layer within the same, and I can do in another layer another change to my sculpt. Let's say if I wanted to relax or to grab some of the geometry, and say, and again with B, I can just change it, and I can just pull some things out a little bit more. And the same way here, I can change the strength of it. I can use mirror if I want to. I'm not doing it right now, but I can use mirror and just fine tuning the sculpture itself. And that is in that layer. You can turn it off. You can see that some of the little changes that I did with that, you can see them changing there. Or with the other one, which is the one in the back, I can turn them off to see the difference. So those are what both are two separate layers acting differently. Both are working on level 0. I can, just like in Photoshop, I can merge those layers. So I can come here, right click on it, and I say merge visible. And that will just merge the two layers into a single one. And I can say sculpt layer 1, or leave it like that, or rename it, whatever way you want to do it. Still on level 0. Now, if I wanted to do more information on it, I will create a new layer. On this new layer, I can come here and I am going to go under mesh, and I can say add new subdivision level. And if you do that, you see that it's telling me, okay, now you're working on level 1, right? So that means, and you see my object now being smoother, just the way it was in Maya. Here, when I have subdivision 1, I can continue doing changes to it. And if you use on your keyboard the keys page up and page down, you will be able to, page up goes level 1, page down goes level 0. So you can see that you can change. If I'm just clicking on my keyboard, that's the same thing of going here and say step level up, step level down. Right, so I can go to level 0, or I can go to level 1. And here I can come in level 1, and I can come and do a little extra modification to it. So let's say, for example, I want to be a little bit closer with it. So I'm going to try, let's say I can just flatten a little bit certain areas. Not that he needs it, but, or I can probably grab, so I'm going to just grab, I'm going to hold B to change my, and then just change a little bit more of his eyebrows, or maybe his nose, just pointing it out a tiny bit more. Or I can just go a little more drastic, I can say, well, maybe I want to have him to have some more, a little bit of a pointy eyebrow. It doesn't look that good, but I can try using a little bit of relaxing there, just to try to unify a little bit of the distance between, the difference between relax and smooth. That relax, it separates and tries to unify the distance between vertices. Smooth, they just try to soften it to bring it back to the softest appearance, not caring about the distribution of vertices. So I made that change, and you can see that now that second layer has a number 1 in front of it. So if I go page down on my keyboard, then the layer that has 0 gets activated, and the layer that has level 1 gets deactivated, and of course my character changes. So with this, you can start imagining how my character is changing. And I can go, of course, again and add another. I can add more layers on level 1. So, and it's still level 1, and I can go and do changes to him, whatever way I want him to be. Let's say I want to model his lips a little bit more, and I'm just gonna grab some of it. And you have all these tools here to play with. Um, so I'm not an expert with Mudbox, but I usually stay with the basic ones, the ones that allow me to do things that I can control. So with this, I just grab and start pulling things out. I'm using a mouse here. I'm not using a tablet. Usually, a tablet is a lot easier, a lot better to work with, and that way you have a little more freedom. Oh, this is a little too much, so I'm gonna just undo that. And I'm gonna just change the strength to say maybe 1. I'm gonna try one more time. Too much still. So I'm gonna say 0.2. There we go, that's a little bit better. And I'm working on model on level number 1. And of course here, he got his funky thing, but I can come and relax a little bit. So the distance is, of course he tries to go back, but at the same time he tries to preserve some of it. It's a matter of, keeping, keep trying and pulling stuff. You can change your brush again and point out some more. Here I'm just playing with it, but I hope you get the idea of what I'm trying to show you. Alright. I'm going to use smooth one more time, a tiny bit more, so that it goes back a little bit, but still keeps some of my deformations there. Alright, now I have both things on level 1. I can just come and do hide this one, and then I can just say merge visible. That way the 2 level 1 layers get flattened. And so on and so forth. You can go up to level 6 if you want, or 7. You don't want to go that high, but you can keep increasing the amount of detail of your sculpt. So that I'm going to just go 1 level more. And of course this one I'm going to say, okay, new subdivision level, so that became a lot heavier. And of course here I can come and say, okay, well, he has a lot more opportunity for me to go and maybe use the knife to try to cut. For this is when the tablet gets a little bit better to work with. But I'm going to try to, there's a little too much there. So I'm going to just undo that. And the best way of doing it is just by practicing it. So I'm going to just make a size of 0.05 and a strength of 0.5. Let's see if it's in my minus 0.5. And I don't want to use stamp image. They're now using stamp image, which is using one of these images here. So I'm going to turn that off, just so that it is just a minor. I'm just kind of pushing in to push the geometry some more. And it seems that it's not doing a lot, a good job with it, because it seems that I don't have enough information there for me to do it that way. So I'm going to undo that. Because I'm not happy with it, and I'm actually going to probably do something that is less, because a detail like that probably would need to have it done in a higher level. So I could try to do extra modifications here when I wanted to, say, for example, add more to the eyebrows. The difference is, of course, because I am coming up with more information, it is giving me a better opportunity to modify it even more. All right. Um, and again, that's in level 2. If I use the page down, I will go to level 1 and of course level 0. You see how it's working there. The higher the level, the more detail you have, and the better you have to start adding detail to your sculpture. All right, I'm just going to save this scene. I haven't saved it, so I'm going to call it. It's saving as an FBX. And well, actually, in this, which is a Mudbox file. And I'm just going to just keep it. Right now, I have it under my Maya scene, so I'm just keep it there. I'm going to save it there. And I'm going to just simply update. I'm going to select the object. You have specified meshes to send when you're not level 0. So I'm going to say, I'm going to go down to, I'm going to cancel this. And I'm going to go down to level 0 before I update. I'm going to say OK. That way it just goes back to Maya. And Maya has been updated right now. So it's still, we have the connection between Mudbox and Maya, and I'll explain a little bit more on that in the next video.